Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. Today we have Matthew Gonçalves as our guest. Matthew is he's an amazing soccer player, one of my good friends. He's been at Vallejo, how long have you been at Vallejo?
I was at Vallejo for like 7 or 8 years.
7 or 8 years. So he's definitely a very accomplished Vallejo player. One of the most popular Vallejo players, that's for sure. He just graduated Belmont Hill, and he's now committed to play soccer at Cornell. So we're looking forward to getting started. I guess, Matthew, you just want to start by asking your last name. You're Brazilian, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Brasileiro.
Where were you? So where were you born?
I was born here. My parents.
All right. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Everett. You know what I mean? Like no. It's actually
serious.
No. It's actually very interesting because like before I played for Vallejo, I hadn't left like Everett for like literally my entire life. Like I did not leave the boundaries of Everett.
Wow.
For like until I started playing for Vallejo. Well, I'm kind of lying. Mm-hmm. I played like town soccer and like I went around but I never went out of state or I never went anywhere more than 20 minutes away.
Yeah, gotcha. So what initially sparked your interest in playing football?
My dad just kind of like he was athletic when he was growing up and stuff.
Oh yeah, I remember he was a really good basketball player.
Filthy basketball player.
Yeah.
So they say. But he used to play soccer when he was younger. But he was short, and his downfall in basketball is that he's short. So he was like, he told my mom, he's like, Matthew's not playing basketball. Because he knew that I would really like basketball, but he's like, no, Matthew's playing soccer.
And you do love basketball. I mean, you like watching it. Right?
Yeah, but I
just not good.
So if it wasn't for your dad, would you be playing basketball?
No.
No.
I don't know, but I would probably be playing baseball, but different story.
Baseball?
Yeah.
Different.
I used to play baseball.
So was Vallejo the first club team that you played for? Yeah,
I had no idea that like clubs were a thing until I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I had a neighbor that like used to play soccer, and he like knew a few people around here.
Is this the guy who gave you the Porsche cleats?
No, different guy. So then one day, like I was literally heading out to a game, and he was like, "Oh, let me go watch." And we're like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah." So then I went and like I did well, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna like put you in contact with like somebody that I know." And then he like told Wilson about me.
Okay.
Wilson, you know Wilson?
Wilson Mineta?
Yeah. So and then I just started playing for Wilson's team, and it kind of like just went from there. I started playing for Vallejo.
That's crazy because it's true. They say someone is always watching. You know what I mean?
That is true.
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, so what were you like as a young soccer player?
Ball hog. Big time ball hog.
Did you score a lot?
Yeah, I scored a lot. It's because you're playing against kids that don't really like soccer. Parents kind of like forcing them into it. So yeah.
What position do you play?
Striker.
You played striker your whole life?
Yeah, my whole life. Always.
If you could play somewhere else, where would you play?
Like on the field?
Yeah.
The 6.
6?
Why?
Pinging balls feels so good.
Just pinging it?
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so how old were you when you first started playing Vallejo? You said 7 years old?
9.
9? Okay. And what would you say was your most memorable moment as a youth player?
As a youth player, I remember, there was this one tournament, it was the first tournament that I played with Wagner's team, Coach Wagner. We did really badly. We lost every game, I think, and I only scored 2 goals in 3 games.
Yeah.
And everybody would become like Neymar, like Neymar Jr.
Call you Neymar?
Yeah, because this is when Neymar was popping, you know what I mean? So they would call me Neymar Jr. When I was
Junior.
Yeah, when I was younger. And then Emilio one day goes up to me, he's like, "You only scored 2 goals in the tournament? That's not very Neymar Jr. of you." So I was very mad at that.
How old were you at the time?
I was 9.
Okay.
Can I say I was peed off?
Pissed off?
I was pissed off, yeah. So I held that in, and I kept that a grudge, and then I waited, I didn't wait, I trained a lot until, the next tournament, and then I went and I scored, 17 goals in, 4 games.
Oh,
wow.
Shit.
Yeah.
That sounds
I was mad.
of you.
I was mad.
So what was your journey like at Vallejo? Where did it start?
I mean, I started off. I was 9 years old playing like U11, so I was like playing up, and I was on the B team when I first came. I don't know if you know that, but I was on the
Avalea?
B team. Yeah, like I don't know if you know Jonathan Ferreira and Declan Sung.
He was on. They were.
Yeah.
Declan was on. They were both on the B team.
No, they were on the A team.
Oh, okay.
I was on the B team, but I always saw them training on the other side of the field, and I was mad. I was like, I should be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I just, one day Wagner was like, dude, he should be playing like with his age group, and then Wilson was like, no. Like,
No.
Like, and then they eventually like let me go and play for Wagner's team. That's kind of where like I met Momo, Lily, Julian Nelson, like all those great players, John Munlin, and like that's kind of where my team was for like 5 or 6 years with that group of people.
Until like what, like 15 or 16?
14, 15.
Oh yeah, then a lot of them left to academy.
Yeah, a lot of them left. A lot of them like stopped playing.
Yeah.
Took it less seriously. Kind of like that.
So how would you say that moment that you described earlier with you scoring like 3 goals in the tournament and then Emilio saying you weren't Neymar, how would you say that shaped you as a soccer player? How would you say it shaped your...
I mean, that was just kind of like the beginning of like what I felt like would be like the theme for like the rest of my like career. Not like I feel like I was really underrated like in the grand scheme of things. You know what I mean? And that just like it always like struck a nerve with me. That really bothered me a lot. So like I don't know. It sounds kind of cliche, but like kind of go out there like try to prove people wrong.
Fair.
So I just went there and I just wanted to prove Emilio wrong. You know what I mean?
So, who's your favorite soccer player?
Right now?
Neymar?
Neymar?
Yeah, obviously.
Has it always been Neymar or is...
Yeah.
Neymar.
I loved Kaká when I was younger.
Oh, me too.
2010.
Yeah, facts.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, maybe like him for his name.
I hate it when people call me that. Like, it's
Kaká.
Did you dream of going pro when you were a kid?
Yeah, I was really passionate about going pro.
Even when you were like 7 years old?
Yeah, 7 years. I always thought I was gonna go pro. Like until I was like 14 years old, I would literally cry if I thought about doing anything else other than being pro. Like if I thought about doing like not going pro, I would cry.
Yeah.
Like, it was like
Alright.
nice.
So you dreamed of going pro, and okay. And did you try to mimic your game after Neymar when you were a kid?
Yeah, Wagner would say that like if you watch Neymar like do something on like Friday night in a game, you just go like you wouldn't have to watch because I would just like try to do the same thing on like on the weekend.
Oh,
in the game.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
And so wait, how long did Wagner coach you?
Like 6 years, maybe.
So would you say he was one of your most influential coaches?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Wagner is like right now is like a great friend to me, like a mentor, and we started our relationship like when I was very young, and just kind of like grew and blossomed more like the more time that we spent with each other, all the great teaching moments that he'd given me, and just kind of goes from there.
So what do you think is the most important thing or lesson you've learned about life from soccer?
That like in any instance you can't give up on anything
How do you? I mean, it's pretty clear, I guess, how you apply it. But is it something you actively apply? Like you use a metaphor from soccer to life when you?
I mean, like the typical, like I'm still young, so I really haven't had too many life experiences. But I mean, the ones that the experiences that I've had would be like in school, working hard, just putting your nose down, going through it, just trying to work hard, do the best that you can do,
So, what year did you start at Belmont Hill?
Freshman year.
How old were you?
14.
Okay. So, what was your path to Belmont Hill?
I had a teammate that went to Belmont Hill.
Who?
And Artemi Ivanov.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to go like private school.
Yeah.
And I'd always liked Belmont. Like Belmont Hill was like one of the only private schools that I knew because like I used to do black nights.
Oh, yeah.
And that was like I went there once. And a funny story about this. I went there and with my dad, and I asked my dad. I was like, "Oh my God, you see this?" Literally, I told my dad. We went to the Jordan, the athletic center where there's the basketball court where we would play futsal. And I'd be like, "Oh my God, you see the school? The school's like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life." And he was like, "Yeah, don't even think about it. It's like $50,000 to go here." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So then I literally I never thought about it until like our time. It was like, "No, yeah, they give financial aid." I was like, "Really?" So then I applied, and our time, showed my highlight tape to the coach, and he liked it. So luckily, I got in. The only independent school that I got into.
That's cool.
Yeah, I didn't add, but
Same with me.
Same with me.
So, how has Belmont Hill influenced your life?
Belmont Hill a lot. Like it's influenced me a lot.
How do you think it's, I mean, obviously Belmont Hill has a huge emphasis on character building there.
Mm.
How do you think it's shaped your character? And has evolved your character?
It definitely taught me that, like, especially like my background is different than the background of other kids that are already there or that go there.
For sure.
So I kind of always felt like I had a chip on my shoulder, and Belmont Hill kind of like just helped me embrace that more and like made me more dedicated to it. You know what I mean? Like I was just really passionate about everything that I did, and Belmont Hill kind of helped me with that. I just wanted to like prove myself, if I was being honest. Like I just always wanted to prove myself, and I think Belmont Hill really gave me they allowed me to try to prove myself.
That opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, Belmont Hill is famously an academically rigorous school. Has it been a struggle for you to balance school and soccer?
In the beginning, yeah, because I was playing soccer a lot right after, I wasn't really used to how much work we would get.
Yeah. And
I think I definitely could have done better freshman year, just like looking back on it, trying to balance soccer and school. But it was hard. It was hard in the beginning, but you kind of just get used to it, and it just becomes like the norm. So once it becomes normal to you, it's not really doesn't affect you that much.
So Vallejo famously has their style of play is unique from other American soccer clubs. Do you think it changed your perception of soccer at all, or how do you think it might have changed your game?
I mean, I was here since really young, so I guess the influence was like I always thought that like playing a possession style was like more attractive, I guess because of Vallejo. But I honestly hadn't really heard of like kick and run and like possession until like I got here, to be honest.
You like kick and run versus possession?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go back to Belmont Hill. How do you think it's shaped your character and shaped you as a person?
Like, I think it's made me a better person. I guess, I think Belmont Hill really helps people with, like, first interactions. Like, once you meet somebody for the first time, you really try to, like, be nice. Shake their hand, look them in the eyes, like, all that stuff. Like, don't be, don't give a bad impression.
Don't be a bitch.
Don't be
What? You can't be saying that word.
Leave it out.
You can't leave that out, no.
Yeah, you can swear on a podcast.
Yeah, you can swear. Right? Joe Rogan swears all the
Look
time.
at the kids outside.
They can't hear you.
Are they watching?
Whatever, let's just keep going.
Will they watch?
Alright, let's just keep going, it's fine. You as a person.
Wait, hold on a second. You drove from Everett for this?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Alright, so can you just
You're buying breakfast, bro.
Alright, can you expand a little bit more on how it's shaped you as a person, how Belmont Hill shaped you as a person?
Yeah, when I first got to Belmont Hill, like, I didn't have a way to go to Belmont Hill. Like, I don't know if, Belmont Hill definitely shaped me as a person. Like, I'll say that.
Yeah.
But I think the challenges that I faced at Belmont Hill shaped me into, like, did a greater effect and shaped me as a person than, like, than school.
Yeah.
Like,
Public schools and stuff.
what do you mean?
You're saying like Belmont Hill would shape you more than
probably more than a public school.
I think what he's saying is that not actually what they teach necessarily or the curriculum at Belmont Hill, but the challenges that Belmont Hill put him through shaped him more.
Yeah, I can give an example.
Especially considering that you have a very unique background compared to other Belmont Hill kids. The average is, rich and preppy and.
I can give an example to make it a bit easier. When I was a freshman, like I literally did not have a way to get to Belmont Hill. Like there was no way. Like my parents couldn't drive me or anything. So like in the last week, we literally found out that there was like a bus, like a public bus stop, like on the top of the bridge.
So how were you getting to school before then?
Before, what do you mean?
Before you found the bus.
I wasn't in school yet.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't in school. It was like the week before school started.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, all right, like I'm gonna have to take the bus or whatever. So
Yeah.
I was like, all right, how do I go take that bus? So then found out that like if I went to my nearest train station, which I did this for 2 years.
2 years.
Go, my mom would wake me up at like 5:50. Have to go. She would drive me to the train station, right? From the train station at Malden Station, which I don't know if you know, the map of the MBTA, but Malden Station is like the second to first stop on the Orange Line.
Yeah.
I have to take the Orange Line into Downtown Crossing. Then at Downtown Crossing, I would have to walk over to the Red Line, wait for the bus to the train to Alewife, and Alewife is the last station on the Red Line.
Yeah.
So I'd have to go there, and just that train trip alone would be an hour.
Yeah.
So then I would get to Alewife, and I would have to check the bus times.
Yeah.
There were like 3 different buses that I could take.
Yeah.
And I would have to like wait there like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes normally. And then I would get on the bus, then the bus would take me up to the top of the hill. Then from the top of the hill, I would get out and I would start walking. And the thing is, like, that, like, that's fine. It's like, I already had, like, the day already started off really tough, you know what I mean? Because I had to go through all that. And kids, by the time that I get to Belmont Hill, are waking up, you know what I mean?
And also, you're waking up at 5:50 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's true. I really didn't have any time to, like, rest or, like, think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing is, bro, like, I would be walking. You guys are familiar with like the grass leading into Belmont Hill, like that pathway on the left
The
side.
admissions building.
No, like on the left side. Like if you're on the bridge, you go on the sidewalk on the left, and you just walk down. There's that pathway that leads you to where you can cross the street into the Melvoin.
Do you know what you're talking about?
You know what I'm talking about?
The path that goes
Where we get milk and cookies, that driveway.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. I would walk there, right? And I would there would be kids literally like driving by, like waving to me, like when I would be walking.
Wow.
And I was like, no, like I went through that like every day for 2 years.
How did that? I mean, I don't know. Did that make you feel a certain type of way? I'm sure it did.
No, yeah. There would kids would like honk their horn at me and stuff, and I would be like, good morning. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
They're like I couldn't do anything. You know,
Yeah.
I was just a freshman. You know?
Yeah. So you're talking about all this like academic stuff you do, all the soccer, and then all this time you take to even get to school. So like, how do you balance your social life also with that? Was it hard? Or was it? How'd you do it?
Back then it was definitely hard. I don't really think I had too much of a social life, at least freshman year, because I was so consumed by soccer and training. And
Freshman year, I remember we were like best friends freshman year, right?
I was not.
Freshman or sophomore year.
I was at Belmont Hill and you were at Noon South.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think we were.
Yes.
Because we were playing on
Wagner's.
pre-academy.
Yeah,
Pre-academy team.
Yeah.
So that was my social interactions would be like the bus ride, the rides.
The Vallejo.
Did you see
bus
anyone?
rides?
Did you see anyone? Oh, the Vallejo van rides. Well, those were the most amazing van rides of all time.
Very true.
I mean, I still remember. Like, those are some of my most memorable
Those
moments.
were very fun.
Freestyling in the van.
Very,
so
very
much
fun.
stuff.
Countless stories.
Yeah.
Was there anyone on the bus that you would see on the bus going to school that you would see like every day?
Yeah, yeah. There were people that I would take the bus. Like it wasn't like the Belmont Hill bus. It was just like the MBTA.
Yeah, the public bus.
There were people that I would see every single time. I don't know if you know this, but if you're going up that hill, like if you're going up like the very steep hill, you know what I mean, to get to the top.
Back from Alewife to the bus stop near school, right? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah. From Alewife to there.
Yeah.
To Belmont Hill.
Yeah.
There's like the half bridge where people can walk across. You know what I'm talking about? And on the right, there's like a bus stop there. I don't know if you know this. There's a bus stop there. Okay. And there's this guy that would wear like a trench coat and like long pants or whatever, and he would have a grayish like white and black beard, like mix all colors.
Yeah.
And like he would have that wallet that would like flip open. You know what I mean?
Oh.
He would step into the bus every single time, and his wallet would go flap. He would tap his bus card and it would go flap, but he did it exaggerated every time. So he'd go like think, and then it would click, and then he would walk in.
This is every day.
Every single day.
What the
And I would be like, if he wasn't there, I would be like, yo, what's wrong?
So something's
You know what I
happening.
mean? So like, yeah, that was kind of funny.
That's
That
interesting.
is funny. All right. So what is a piece of advice? Actually, firstly, I want to hear about what kind of advice would you give to a kid who's looking to go to a private school?
Contact the if you have any footage of how you play, like any game tape or whatever, contact the coach of the school, send them an email, see if you know people from there to get in contact with the coach. Just try to get them to see how you play, because a lot of schools, you know, the coaches have some input in admissions.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you have the grades, you need to have the grades. That's huge. You have to have the grades. If not, then very impossible, to be honest.
I can definitely second what he's saying, because for me, applying to Belmont Hill, Matthew was definitely a huge part of it. Because I know he was talking to the coach, to Mr. Holland, about me, and who was an admissions director, but he was also the soccer coach.
Mm.
So that definitely helped me a lot,
Yeah.
getting in, I'm sure.
I mean, I'm just gonna speak off the camera because
No, it's fine. You can, yeah.
it's whatever. They'll hear me anyway. For me, I came to Belmont Hill as a soccer player through Jay and Vallejo, because I was friends with the team prior to that. So it's really important that you have someone on the inside, doesn't matter who it is,
Yeah.
that you're talking to prior to it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
just like a contact.
Yeah.
All right. So, what advice would you give to a young striker at Vallejo who looks up to you?
Practice finishing.
Practice finishing.
Go out on your own and practice finishing. That's kind of huge. Striker needs to score goals.
Definitely.
Yeah, of course.
Always work hard.
Yeah.
Always, put in the extra effort.
Is there anything particular to Vallejo, to being a Vallejo player, that you would?
I think Vallejo helped me a lot, as a dribbler. I think I'm versatile in a sense that some coaches see that, think that I could play winger as well.
Mm.
Which I don't really like that, but I played winger
For Bolts.
Yeah, when I went to Bolts. And that was because the strikers couldn't dribble how I could dribble, and they see a winger as somebody who can dribble.
Oh,
So I think I bring that versatility. That's also because I had the players that influenced me the most were Neymar and R9, and those are all players that were some of the best dribblers of all time.
Definitely.
So it's Vallejo helped me a lot with dribbling.
So how about some advice to a young player to help them succeed? What would you tell them?
Some advice to a young player would have to be just, honestly, you just have to put your head down and just work. And really, as difficult as it is, as a young person, I know from experience, just don't listen to what other people say. Think about you or say about you. Just stay confident in yourself and know your own abilities, and just honestly block out all the
noise.
outside noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to be confident in yourself.
Why is that such a big thing?
I struggled with confidence for a while for a moment in Vallejo. And
Do you mean confidence on the field or off the field?
yeah, both. On the field specifically. But if I knew what I knew now, then I just wouldn't have allowed so many outside opinions affect me.
And what is it that you know now?
Then it doesn't matter. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what other people think about you. As long as you go on the field and you produce, it does not matter what other people think about you.
Fair enough. So what would you say is the key to being an amazing finisher, a striker?
Natural instinct. A lot of it is natural instinct.
What about someone that doesn't have that natural instinct?
It's gonna be more difficult, but you have to practice actually getting the technique down. Technique, how to shoot, finish right foot, left foot, finesse, power, those different types. But I think natural instinct is huge. You have to be a killer. You know what I mean? Like you have to be mean in front of net. You want to make the other team suffer. Like you need to find joy in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
dark.
It's evil. It's dark. It's like Mike Tyson talks about it a lot. Like to be the best, you have to have an ego in a sense.
Yeah.
I tried a lot to disconnect myself from my ego once I got older and stuff, like in social interactions. But
you definitely, I do remember you definitely had a big ego.
yeah, but that was because you have to think of yourself as the best.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that does.
Because if not, you're not going to be confident. So you really need to think of yourself as the best.
So we're talking a lot about your success
sure.
and everything.
No, you're good.
Yeah, so we're talking a lot about your
Did we
success.
get that all?
Huh?
Did we get that all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so we've been talking a lot about your success, but how do you recover from a bad game?
You just have to put it behind you and just forget that it happened. Like you need to acknowledge that you didn't play well and see what you did in that game that wasn't good. But normally when I would play and I wouldn't do well, a lot of it would be like the mental aspect. You know what I mean? Like it would be rare for me in a sense that it would be rare for me to give up before a game had ended. But it would happen at times, and that stuck with me a lot. So, just you have to. It's really 90% mental to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Richard Kentish, Coach Richard.
Is that what he says?
That's his catchphrase. It's all mental.
All mental.
He was back then. You'd laugh and be Richard, but
It's actually true.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's really.
He also played on the Jamaican. Played on the Jamaican national team when he was younger.
Yeah, I do know that.
So with that being said, what's essential to you as a striker, to succeed in a game? Personally. What do you need around you on the field in order to succeed?
Players that can play the ball into me, put me in
Good positions.
to score. I guess.
What players have done that, have been able to throughout your career?
Yeah, that's a very leading question. Me saying Mateen Reyes, Nick Poor, or Nick Poor Reyes. I don't know. At Belmont Hill, yeah, he was really good this season, helping me do that.
How do you recover from a bad game?
I think the mental aspect of getting over a bad game is probably the most important. You just need to put the game behind you, but also acknowledge the mistakes that you made during the game that you might have made. You know what I mean? So you still need to review the game, game footage, and see what you did wrong and how you could improve in those scenarios. But I think a lot of it is just putting it behind you and forgetting about it.
For sure.
So how do you deal with a slump or a goal drought?
That's a good question. I went through one this season for a little bit. Not a goal drought, but I was missing a few chances that I would normally score. And it was just it's not you can do anything about it, but it's just on the field you have to if you're not able to score, I guess, or if you're missing a bunch, you still have to keep trying. No matter if you miss the chances, you still have to go to the chances, not stop shooting.
Yeah.
That's basically my mentality on it.
You want to go through the... All right, so do you have any type of pregame rituals?
Well, when I was playing for Belmont Hill, a pregame ritual that I would have would always be in the trainer's room. Always working with Miss Rouse, talking to Miss Rouse, have a nice... I think talking to Miss Rouse really, relaxed me a lot during the games because I would be really nervous. I would be nervous to the point where I want to throw up before the games.
Really?
Yeah,
Even still?
I'd be freaking out.
That's Bill Russell, I don't know if you know, but I think it's Bill Russell. Maybe it's a different Celtics player. But he threw up before every game because he was so nervous, yeah.
That's I was extremely nervous before the game because on so many things. Even if we were playing a team that wasn't really going to be that strong, I'd be freaking out before the game.
Yeah.
So how'd you deal with that?
There's nothing that you can really do. If you have real nerves, then you just kind of once you start playing, it goes away.
Yeah.
Every single time when you start playing, it goes away. But I guess before talking, having somebody to talk to, just get your mind off it, is really helpful.
Are you still nervous?
Thank you, Ms. Ross.
Are you still nervous today when you play soccer, any game or anything?
Not in practice. I haven't played a game in a while, but if there's a scrimmage or anything, I'm not nervous.
What about post game? Is there anything that you immediately think about or immediately do after a game? Is that a bad question?
No. Because during the soccer season, I'd probably be like, God, okay, I got to hang out with my girlfriend now. You know what I mean? But that wasn't a bad thing. But it would, I would be exhausted. I don't know if you remember. I would be completely mentally and physically drained after every game. Cause I would do you remember the BB&N game? I was dead after that game. You went to the BB&N.
I went to that game, yeah.
I was exhausted.
Oh, that game was insane.
Yeah.
That game was crazy.
That was crazy game.
I was like physically drained, and literally like I had to like limp myself off the field. And it's like just after that, it's just go home, watch whatever, lay in bed, and then stay in bed for the next 2 days. Because if not, I wouldn't be able to like function on Monday.
I just want to add. I don't know if we'll have this in the thing or not. Mm-hmm. It pains me so much still to hear about these games and like remember being on the bench just watching it all. It pains me so much.
I was added to the.
I don't know what to say to that.
Nothing.
I can't really relate.
It's fine. I just. That's like.
just wanted to express the pain.
I was over it. Then you said that shit, and I was like, man, just thought about the whole season. I was like, anyway.
The BB&N game was crazy.
He did
Bro.
nothing physically exerting the entire season.
Dude,
That's
Martin
not
Luther
the
King
issue.
was like one of the best games to go
He
watch.
did.
He did in that game?
Yeah, that one in Nobles were
Nobles
like.
game was crazy.
Yeah, Nobles
No.
game
Oh,
was
Noble's game was so good too.
So good.
Yeah.
Harry Roberts, you play him?
He was trash that game.
Didn't do anything.
Yeah, he
He's
did.
kinda-
I
Our
got
teammate had
Dean
goals.
had him locked up.
Yeah. Okay, so what advice would you give to yourself 5 years ago?
Just shut up.
Shut up and.
Just stop talking.
Okay.
You stop?
Just stop talking as much as you talk. I think just listen more.
Just listen.
That's pretty much.
That's good.
I feel like it's a thing a lot of young guys have trouble with is like listening to coaches and just doing what they say because they have more experience. So, like,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
It's because you're a teenager and that's how teenage,
Yeah.
talk. That I want to be the funny guy. Like,
For sure.
no, just shut up and focus.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you think about American soccer culture?
I think it's trash.
Why?
I think it's garbage. I think because obviously like the kicking, I'm not really like that. I'm not so much of like a hater on like the kick and run style if I'm being honest, because as a striker it kind of benefits me.
Yeah.
But I hate the idea that a striker has to be a 6'4", 220 pound guy who holds up the ball and can't juggle to 5. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because like that's just not who I am as a striker. And like if I go and I tell somebody I'm a striker, like when I would be getting recruited by like schools, they would be like, "Oh, I'm not really like looking at you as a striker. Like I wouldn't be looking at you as a striker."
As a winger, you think?
As a midfielder or whatever. And I'm like, dude, that's not how I play. My thing is to score goals, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just watch me score goals, and, like, why can't they just see that, you know what I mean? Some of the best strikers in the world are short. Aguero, Hamadi, when his nickname was literally the short one.
Short one.
That was his nickname.
Messi.
Yeah.
I mean, he's.
No, he used to be a striker.
Yeah.
Center forward.
And he still scores so many goals. So.
Yeah. So being Brazilian, right? You have the Brazilian culture and the whole soccer aspect of being the Brazilian side. How do you think that, like, what do you think is missing in the American culture that the Brazilian culture has?
The academy, I think the American style and the English style are really similar. Like the thought of like being an academy player where you're just boring, play the ball backwards.
Yeah.
You can't take anybody on. You can't be creative. Like I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that. I think the thing with Brazil, I think some of the best teams of all time had like the Brazilian like culture in it, because I'm just thinking of like Brazilian national teams.
Yeah.
Like, really nice.
Yeah.
But they weren't afraid to try things.
Yeah.
I think that's missing a lot in American soccer.
Have you played outside the country?
Yeah, I have.
Where have you played?
I played in Portugal. I think pretty much in Portugal. Like I played for like tried out for teams in Portugal, stuff like that.
And how's your experience playing abroad?
I think they're definitely they're just better.
It's way better.
I played at a very high level when I went to Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
Like I played for a very good team, and they were just really, really, really good. Like there were kids, like it would be a possession exercise, and this kid literally did like a rainbow
Really?
during a possession exercise. I'm like, dude, that's why they're ahead. You know, that's why they're ahead, because they try stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're creative. We don't have that here. You know what I mean?
That's
You
true.
try to do imagine if you try to do a rainbow in a possession drill. You're
yeah.
you do
Non-existent.
50 push-ups.
That-
200 push-ups.
That's the
Exactly.
thing, yeah.
Like that, you know, like I'm not gonna say like go out and try rainbow in a possession drill, but don't be afraid to try things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you're afraid that you're gonna be punished if you try something, then something's wrong.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
Do you think that the college system brings it down at all? Brings the quality of soccer down?
I'm not in the college soccer system quite yet, so I don't know exactly what it is. I think Cornell's a bit different as a program because I think once I get there, I'll be able to like stand out a bit because of like what I can do. I think hopefully this age as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know, definitely for other programs, I think so. But it's like people want creative players, and then once they get the creative players, they want to put them in a system. That's not how it works.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I
true.
mean?
That's true. So what was so you committed to Cornell. What was your path to committing there? What was the recruiting process like for you?
The recruiting process was really tough for me because I wasn't really getting looked at by too many schools. Like I'm talking to kids now that they're like, oh yeah, like Duke is looking at me, Virginia's looking at me, like all these types of
Soccer players or
Soccer
yeah.
players.
I'm like, man, like where was all that attention when I was getting recruited?
Yeah.
I didn't get any of that attention. I only got like 3 offers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if many people know that, but I only got like 3 offers. I can't really. I think I only got 3
Amherst
offers.
offered you, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Amherst offered me, which is, great program there.
UMass Amherst or Amherst?
No, Amherst
College.
Holy Cross offered me. That's because they pretty much offer any player that like plays for the Bulls.
For Bolts, yeah.
Yeah. And then Cornell offered me, and that was literally those are the 3. Those are the only ones that offered me.
I only have one.
Congrats.
Yeah. Wait, who was it again? It was
Well, if we're talking about
no. Didn't you
baseball,
get some from
You got one for soccer.
soccer.
didn't you?
Yeah, Wesley.
Wesleyan? Yeah,
Wesleyan,
That's
yeah.
crazy. He's not even a soccer player. Well, I guess he is, but his main sport is baseball.
Insults him.
No, that's not what I meant. Okay. All right. So, what are you looking forward to most at Cornell?
The soccer culture is really cool.
Really?
It's really nice.
How so?
Well, we're gonna be able to practice a lot, and their facility is just like gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Like the training facility is just beautiful. 2 grass fields, just like one is for the women's team, one's for the men's team. But it's just the fields are just beautiful. The playing field is literally you can eat your dinner there every day. That's how
It's clean.
clean and flat, and good grass. It's really isolated. So once you get there, you literally can't think of anything else. It's just soccer.
Soccer in
That's it.
school, yeah.
Literally, and it's just a professional environment. And the Coach John Smith, is just seems like such an amazing coach with what he's already been able to do at Cornell in the short amount of time that he's been there. And like I really, really think that Cornell is fantastic, like incredible potential.
So, what are you doing to prepare for Cornell and playing there?
So much fitness.
Fitness?
Really?
So much fitness.
Was there a huge focus on fitness? Or?
Yeah, it's like the most important thing. I would say. Once you reach the college level, fitness is the most important aspect.
What advice would you give to a high schooler who is about to go through the recruiting process?
If you're gonna take the same path, that if you're not really sought after, then reach out to coaches. Develop game film. Ask your coaches for help if they know any coaches. Like a lot of it is just connections.
Yeah.
If you get a good connection, enough of a connection to have a coach go watch a game and you do well that game, that's what happened to me. Like, they just needed one game to see me and offer me.
Yeah.
So then that was like, awesome. But it's just like that. You need connections. Ask for help if you need help.
What? How many times a week do you train? When you're in your peak performance?
5 days a week. I'd say. Well, during the season it would be like train 4 days a week, play 2. When we're at Belmont Hill, train Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then play Saturday and Wednesday. Rest
Sunday. We have Saturday. Oh, yeah. No, my bad. Yeah, sorry. And so what do your training sessions look? What do your personal training sessions look like?
Well, right now it's just if I am to go train by myself, mostly finishing, but finishing with like full out reps, like not like I'm doing half-ass reps, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I'm going out like scissoring as fast as I can, shoot as hard as I can, bottom corner, you know what I mean? It's like that. And once you do that like 50 times, that's already a cardio workout.
Yeah.
And once you do that, do more cardio on top of that. So like that's basically what I've been doing.
What's your favorite aspect of your game to work on?
To work on, I think movement is like huge, and positioning. I think my technique is like good. There's not much that you can do once you reach a certain age on technique and stuff like that.
True.
Yeah.
So I think my technique is.
How do you train that positioning movement?
It's really hard. I kind of only started to understand it this past fall. Before I didn't really get it as much, which was like, it was bad. You know, like I could have been way better if I learned it before, but I only understood positioning because I'd been so used to just like going backwards instead of going forwards. Once I finally understood to go forwards and I had the pieces that could allow me to go forwards and play me the ball through, that's like, that changed my game completely, and I think I had a fantastic year this year because of that.
So, we're talking about Cornell and everything. Where do you see yourself after Cornell? Do you plan on playing professionally or trying to achieve that?
Hopefully that's the goal.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can go like. Ideally, if Cornell does well, which I think we're gonna do great, and I'm there as a striker, scoring goals. You know, hopefully I can go to the draft. You know,
That'd be cool.
get selected, whatever. And from there, just kind of like, you know, continue playing. Hopefully go overseas, you know.
What MLS team would you want to play for?
Any of them. Anyone, please sign me.
Please.
Matthew Gonçalves.
Please. No, yeah, it's like any of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Let's do a little cut. Shout out MLS. Sign Matthew Gonçalves.
Please.
Okay, what's the nicest goal you've ever scored?
Oh, I can answer this one. Against Groton this year,
Which one?
The one where I dribbled like.
where you got it on the right with your back to the goal, turned the kid.
Oh, yeah.
Played it around the other kid, and then you remember that goal?
Remember that one?
I do remember that.
I think
Right in
it's...
front of Williams. There were some Ivies there. There were
Dartmouth was
5
there.
coaches right there.
They were literally right there.
They were right there.
And one of them was Northeastern dude, and Northeastern they were like half with me, like they were like, yeah, like talking to me, but then like at some point they just stopped really talking to me.
I hate when schools do that.
Literally. So then I scored one right in front of the coach's face. Like right in front of his face. Literally.
And it was unbelievable.
It was kind of sick.
Okay, my guess was that you were going to say the bike that you had. You know what I'm talking
I
about?
know.
The one that's in the front of every highlight video.
Yeah.
The Vallejo one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll put it on.
I think another one.
We'll put it on both. We'll put on both clips. Yeah, another one.
Another one is a forgotten clip from Matthew Best Plays Part 2. I swear to God.
Yeah, just as you know, I watched that video maybe 10 different times. Like on 10 different, like more. I mean, it's, yeah.
Yeah, I was like 10 or 11, and it was like 8v8, and there's a ball on the right side, and I think we're losing 2-1, and we needed a goal. It was like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And like I got the ball on the right side, and our right winger was there on the ball. Like it was right on the corner of the box, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like an 18-yard box, like for an 8v8 field. It was weird.
Oh, okay.
It was weird field. But then I went, and like the right winger was right there about like trying to get on the ball. And I was like, Luke, his name was Luke. I was like, Luke, leave, let the ball here. And I went one-on-one with the guy. I took it inside, outside, and then just shot a rocket into the bottom corner. Like it was like, I'll show you guys afterwards.
Yeah.
But it is like.
We'll put it on. We'll put it on.
Okay, perfect.
Also, another one I remember is in the same. No, it's in the part 1 video. You're at the Vallejo field, and you guys are all midgets. You're like this tall, but you receive the ball somewhere in the middle of the field. You get the ball, you scissor. You do like a Maradona. You dribble like 3 people, and you end up like chipping the keeper or something. Do you know what I'm talking about? You dribble the keeper. That's what it was.
I know the one.
Yeah. Okay, Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
Yeah, that was quick.
Favorite
That was a teach.
favorite soccer move?
Scissor.
Scissor. Perfect shot or perfect
Or
play?
elastico.
Perfect shot, perfect ping.
Perfect shot.
Perfect shot. Yeah, you're a striker.
100 pace, 5-star skill.
5-star skill.
Really?
Let's go.
Favorite musical artist? Bob Marley.
I have a lot.
The Weeknd.
I'll say The Weeknd for
Yes.
I knew it.
Yes.
Alright. Favorite song?
right now.
Of all
Yeah.
time. Of all time. Of all time.
Oh man. Oh man, Wicked Games.
Wicked Games. Wicked Games.
Favorite thing to do in your free time?
Watch Naruto.
Naruto.
What?
What?
He was watching that right before you guys came.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm a
What?
huge Naruto guy.
That's not acceptable.
Episode 267.
We're cutting this out. We're cutting that part
No,
out.
don't cut that. Keep that in.
Favorite food?
Churrasco.
Or I like ramen. like good ramen, like restaurant.
Churrasco is Brazilian food and ramen.
Nuradu and ramen. Okay, top Netflix recommendation. Oh no, sorry, no. Favorite restaurant in the greater Boston area? He's gonna say the ramen place.
Yeah.
Ramen place.
There's a ramen place. How am I forget?
It's in Chinatown.
It's called Ruckus.
Ruckus?
I literally we walked outside of it. Remember?
Yes, you recommended it.
Ruckus,
Yeah.
fantastic for first dates.
Favorite book?
Unless you're, do you read?
1984.
Yes.
1984.
Also good.
How about Netflix recommendations? Any shows we should watch?
The first Naruto series.
First
No.
I'm not kidding. Watch Naruto.
Different recommendation. Like for people,
For
people who
normal,
watch
normal
watch.
human beings.
Yeah. For people. Yeah, for human beings.
Man, it's a really good question. Breaking Bad.
Breaking
Bad.
Bad. That's a pretty good show.
Favorite movie of all time?
Pulp Fiction.
I've never seen that movie. But
Never
I
heard of it?
What?
What?
No.
Pulp Fiction?
I need to watch Pulp Fiction.
Wait, you've never heard of
I don't even know what that movie is.
You know what? Tarantino?
No.
Alright, I have to watch that.
Damn, alright. I might have to hop on that real quick.
Alright, wait, we'll watch it after. Okay.
Alright.
Favorite movie of all time? We just asked you that question. Adidas, Nike, Under Armour, Puma.
Puma.
What?
Because I wear leather cleats.
the Puma King?
Oh,
right?
Puma.
I'm a big fan of the Puma.
Montoya, Coach Montoya would be very proud.
Because I'm a big fan of leather cleats, and I think of those four, Puma produces the best quality leather cleats.
Leather cleats?
Copas? Have you tried
Copa,
Copas?
I have wore the Copas a long time ago.
What about Nike's kangaroo leather?
Terrible.
Okay.
Compared to all the other ones,
Shit.
terrible.
Do you ever cry?
All the time.
What's the most important thing you need to be a happy person?
Still trying to figure that out. No, a good supporting system, and love for yourself.
Sounds good. Well, Matthew, appreciate having you on the podcast today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We really enjoyed it. It was a great podcast. We had a great time, honestly.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Wish you the best of luck at Cornell, and thank you for your input on Vallejo and everything you've done and accomplished in your life.
I
Thank you.
think you've contributed to Vallejo culture. I'm sure everyone who's watching this really appreciates that. Look forward to, I don't know what. See you soon.